Great Depression. The Great Depression was a time in American history in which few could find work. Young, old, it didn't matter, men could not find jobs no matter where they went. During this time, education was slim, and even worse than that, Hoovervilles covered the cities. But during this time, a great man named Franklin Delano Roosevelt, during his first 100 days, started alphabet agencies. In particular, the CCC was an attempt to turn young men from this into this.
This is Walnut Canyon, and it's just one area where the CCC made its mark. Here they worked and built a visitor center, and here depicted is the old East Wing with its quarried limestone foundation. The Rim Trail and also the Island Trail, which is shown here, along with the park ranger residencies, were all lasting contributions by the Flagstaff Civilian Conservation Corps to a recreational legacy still enjoyed by countless visitors and tourists today.
Now sports with Nick.
Sports played a major part of life at camp and were very important in maintaining the boys' happiness. Baseball, boxing, and basketball are included in these recreational activities. In the CCC, sports organizations had been run on an individual basis. Therefore, different sports were emphasized more heavily at some of the camps than others. The camp at Mount Eldon, for example, strongly emphasized boxing, as their education director, Joe II, was also the boxing coach. The CCC boys at Eldon participated in tournaments, both local and regional, going to places like Tucson for boxing.
Camp F5A at Mount Eldon published a monthly journal. The page in that journal was dedicated to the camp's recent athletic accomplishments. Some of the sports included were swimming, volleyball, softball, and boxing. But a major point of pride for the boys seems to have been their baseball team. Challenges by other teams are cited like taunts, and a possible rivalry with the Latin American team may have been present. Baseball seemed to have captured the hearts of the CCC boys as it had done with the American nation. These journals were written in 1934, a time in baseball when Babe Ruth had called his shot at the championship game against Chicago only 2 years earlier.
Some of the important questions we have for the National Park Ranger and expert CCC historian Jane Jackson were the following. Did she think the organization of the CCC was vital or necessary to American society at this time? How important were sports in the CCC? And if she felt that American culture could be better understood by looking at sports like baseball. From the interview, we gain knowledge that Jane felt the CCC was indeed an instrumental organization for public works in Flagstaff, as well as promoting healthy development of the nation's young men during the Great Depression. Jane stated that sports were a very important aspect of the life at camps. She also emphasized their importance by saying she thought even if leagues or teams weren't set up, these boys still would have played. And yes, that by looking at sports like baseball in the camps, American culture could be better understood.
The imprint left behind by the nation's CCC workers is nearly unparalleled as far as our national parks, monuments, and forests. Their own recreation paralleled the work they were doing for future generations' recreative possibilities in places like Walnut Canyon, Wapaki, Snowball, and the many campgrounds that litter northern Arizona.
Well, I worked on the railroad for tuppence a day, drank down 1 penny, the other I'd sailed. I hammered and I hammered for God knows how long, well into madness with each setting sun.